I had the opportunity to speak with Twenge for a little. She's a famous author who helped drive the ideas of today's generation, the upcoming generation, by writing a few books. One of them was The Narcissism Epidemic. Here's a little bit about what we spoke. So we spoke somewhat about her book on narcissism, and in the book she told me it helped define what narcissism is, the causes, such as maybe the internet today or certain types of parents will help have that kind of kid become a little bit more narcissistic. She gave you some of the symptoms, and she also gave you some of the treatments. After she wrote that book, she had some heat. Not everyone agreed with her. There was many articles against it. She helped define how today's generation is a little bit more narcissistic than other generations. So although not everyone agreed with her, she did get her BA at the University of Chicago in the study of sociology and psychology, and she also got her master's in social sciences at the University of Chicago. After that, she went on to get her PhD at Michigan University. And she continues constantly. She told me to study and make and practices while she teaches at University of San Diego. She experiments all the time, so her work is really up to date. She did one time tell the San Diego Tribune, narcissism is an inflatable sense of self. It is a very multifaceted trait encompassing vanity, grandiosity, concern with status, image, and intent. She believes that that is what narcissism is. And some people don't agree that she defined it right. But she also believes that today's generation, at least those who were born from the 1980s on, were part of this narcissistic generation. Although she does believe that this generation is struggling with such issues, she did have 3 children, and she raises them and tries to teach them in the right path. Before she wrote her book on narcissism, she wrote the book called Generation Me. And this it's almost a prelude to her second book on narcissism, because it talks about how unhappy and yet driven today's generation. She made sure to highlight the differences between today's generation with past generations, and she focuses on how the young adults of today are changing the workforce of tomorrow. She told me she wrote a few other books. One of them happens to be called Woman's Guide to Getting Pregnant, and she's in the middle of co-writing another book called Why Today's Super-Connected Kids Are Growing Less Rebellious, More Talented, Less Happy. Although she's writing and studying and she's raising children, she does live in San Diego where she teaches. And she goes swimming every day. Here's my swim cap that she gave to me. And she loves to visit the beach. And she takes care of her family while she's writing all her books. And that's just the small thing I got in her 3-minute speed date.